Hi, welcome to part 2 of the tutorial on Chu Shogi. In this video I'll begin to introduce some of the pieces and how they move. These are I've removed all the new pieces that are not in traditional Shogi, and as you can see, a lot of the pieces in Chu Shogi are very familiar to you if you play Shogi, but if you don't, this video is for you. If you do, this should be review. This is the pawn, and it moves and captures the same way, exactly one square forward. Unlike the chess pawn, it does not capture diagonally. It captures in the same way that it moves. So for example, in this case, this pawn could capture the opponent's pawn. This is the rook. It can move any number of squares in an unobstructed orthogonal direction. So if this pawn is here, it can move here. If there's an enemy piece in the line, it could capture it, but it cannot jump over that piece. So in this case, this rook can capture this go-between, which we'll talk about later. If you recall from traditional shogi, there is also a bishop which moves in a similar way, but in a diagonal direction. So it can move any number of unobstructed spaces in a diagonal direction and capture pieces in the same way. In Chu Shogi, you may recall that both the rook and the bishop promote, and when they do, they become the dragon king and the dragon horse. The rook becomes the dragon king on the left, and the bishop becomes the dragon horse. And they can move in the same way a rook and a bishop can, but they also gain the ability to move one space in all 8 directions. So for example, the dragon king can still move like a rook. So it can move to all of these spaces, but it can also move one space diagonally. On the other hand, the dragon horse, suppose this piece is here and this is here. The dragon horse can move diagonally like a bishop. It could capture this enemy pawn, for example. It could also move here, here, and here. And it also has the ability to move one space orthogonally. So in traditional shogi, the dragon horse and the dragon king can only be obtained through promotion. But in Chu Shogi, they appear as unpromoted pieces, and they actually promote to even more powerful pieces that we will talk about later. So both the dragon king and the dragon horse promote to even more powerful pieces. The lance can move any number of unobstructed spaces, but only directly forward. So it can capture an enemy piece like this one, but it cannot jump over pieces. The gold general can move one space orthogonally in any direction, or it can move one space diagonally forward out of a possible 6 number of targets. The silver general can move diagonally in all 4 directions, or it can move one space directly forward, so it has a maximum of 5 possible moves. And the king can move one space in all 8 directions, similar to a chess king or a shogi king.